Welcome back to another edition of Second Take. I'm Jillian Kushner. That's Armand Sadler. It's Casual Sunday. You might have seen everybody doing the Ice Bucket Challenge everywhere. Your Second Take host did it as well. This lovely Armand Sadler nominated me, so I had to do it. It was for a great cause, but looks like everybody's doing it nowadays.
Yeah, it's definitely a great initiative. Definitely a good way to get people on board by doing something that can really become trending on social media. I mean, who wants to pour ice on their heads? Well, you get nominated, you have to do it, but then you can make your friends do it. I made Jill do it. It was pretty awesome. But there's also the option to donate money. I'll actually be doing both, and I've seen people like Tyler Perry do it. Tyler Perry said that the whole Atlanta Falcons team has to do it. He nominated Oprah Winfrey. Ben Affleck. So yeah, there are a lot of celebrities, a lot of athletes on board with it, and it's awesome. It's for Lou Gehrig's disease, amniotic lymphatic sclerosis, I believe is the title for it. And yeah, it's definitely a great way to raise awareness. So I'm glad that this has become so popular.
It's been awesome, and a lot of athletes have been doing it, just as Armand said, and they've actually changed it. Most people would do it in 24 hours to pay $100. Athletes are do it in 24 hours or donate $10,000, which is still awesome because it's raising so much money. Like Armand said, I'm also going to just be donating money as well. Like it's also honestly a great cause, and I actually saw how this all started, this Ice Bucket Challenge, and it was a baseball player at Boston College, I believe, who got ALS, and he started this saying that Lou Gehrig's had it, and nothing has changed. Like, nothing has changed in the treatment. The disease still progresses as it did then, and he wanted to change that, so he had someone pour ice water on his head, and it started this whole trend, and it's awesome. I think they've raised, like, over $6 million or something like that,
Wow.
Which has just been great.
Yeah, definitely.
So we're going to dive into some sports. I remember we talked last week about Tiger Woods not being very good anymore, and then he withdrew from the Ryder Cup, which was a great decision on his part because, like we've said, he is not who he used to be. He cannot compete to the level he used to. He is getting destroyed by these younger guys, and he actually has a little bit of a bromance with Rory McIlroy, but regardless of the bromance, he still is getting beaten by him. So it was just unacceptable for Tiger to not make the cut for the PGA Tour, and Ryder Cup, it probably would have been a very similar thing, so it's probably best for him to just take this out, sit this one out, rehab that back, whatever he needs to do to get back to where he used to be, because we haven't seen the Tiger we know in a few years now. Yeah. Probably since that whole scandal happened, we haven't seen him like that. So it's sad because we all know what Tiger can do, and he's out there and he looks like he's frustrated. He looks like he knows something's wrong and he has no idea what it is. He's just off his game or something. So sitting this one out could be beneficial to him. Again, we need to start looking at the timetable for his retirement because right now it's not looking pretty for him.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. I think time off for him is best. Regroup, rehab, keep practicing, and maybe he can get back to the level he's playing at. Maybe he won't, but at least give himself some time off, get into another tournament, see how he's doing, and then he can really gauge how much longer he has playing golf, because it's probably not going to be that long.
Exactly. We got a little bit of NFL news, just a little bit. The Bears got Santonio Holmes, which is obviously a good pickup, great target to have. Haven't seen Santonio Holmes really wow us in a little while. It's been a little bit. He's getting up there in age, so you're starting to think if this could be towards the end of his career. It's kind of what it's looking like. Either way, great pickup. I don't know if we discussed this last week, but the Browns also got Rex Grossman as quarterback, which, as someone who used to root for the Bears a lot, I do not like Rex Grossman because he was terrible for the Bears. So that's a very weird pickup by the Browns. More quarterback challenge, I guess, but I don't know why they picked him up. I guess they weren't confident enough in just having two quarterbacks. They wanted another one just in case. Whatever the reason may be, Rex Grossman is still in the NFL.
Yeah, Rex Grossman's definitely not very great. I don't see him really putting any competition towards Johnny Manziel or Brian Hoyer. And the Browns also have Tyler Thigpen, so I don't really see Rex Grossman being thrown into the mix very much. Maybe he's just someone to hold the clipboard, maybe provide some wisdom to the younger quarterbacks. Johnny Manziel actually was late to a meeting this week, and he was given some media attention for that, negative media attention, of course. I mean, anything Johnny does, they cover, whether good or bad. He claims it was an honest mistake. He hasn't been on point. He's been partying a lot, obviously, as they talk about, missing meetings. In your first season, especially when you're competing for a starting position, I support Johnny Manziel, but he kind of needs to get his act together a little bit. And being late to meetings is unacceptable, so hopefully he gets that together, because negative media attention is not good for you in your first season in the NFL.
See, him missing that meeting, that's like disrespectful to me. That shows that he doesn't really care about being where he is right now. If you give most of these guys right now the opportunity to be in the NFL, I promise you they're getting to that meeting 10 minutes early, because they don't want anything to jeopardize their career. So him doing that, it's just like, do you even take this as seriously as most people do? I don't care if you misread the schedule. Read it right. You know, he has no excuse for it. Nothing he says is going to be a viable excuse for this. So it's too much off-field stuff. I've been saying this about Johnny from the start. No one wants this burden, because he's a burden at the end of the day, a burden to any team he's on. And so whatever it is, get it together. I don't know what he needs, nor do I care to talk about him, because I don't like him, but that's Johnny right now. We'll move on to something that'll make me a little bit more happy. The Little League World Series has been going on, and there's actually been 2 girls who are participating in it, which is awesome. And one of them has become a star, Mo'ne Davis. She's a pitcher for the Mid-Atlantic region. On opening day, she had 7 strikeouts. She's been amazing. Everyone's tweeting about her. Everyone's looking at her. She was trending on Twitter. She's awesome and doing it with poise. She's 13 years old, as are the rest of everybody competing, and she's killing it. It is so awesome to see, and hopefully she could be one of the first females to break this mold, go through and play college baseball and maybe even go to the MLB, because there's no rules saying there can't be a girl doing it, so why not? And she's very good at it. Very good. She's making all these boys feel terrible, which is kind of funny, because I know they're a little bit bitter about losing to a girl, but she's awesome, and I love watching her play.
Yeah, I can definitely feel for the boys. Losing to a girl is not fun, but, in these modern times, women are equal to men, so women can do what we can do. Women can be government officials, and they can play baseball, so it's great for her, absolutely great for Mo'ne Davis. I love the Little League World Series. I think that it's awesome for these kids to be televised, playing the sport that they love at such a young age. These are our future professionals, so it's definitely good to watch them, see how they develop. And it's really just a fun experience. I get to travel down to Florida, enjoy Disney World. It's awesome. So I love it. I'm definitely going to be paying a lot of attention to the Little League World Series.
Yeah, and everyone's behind Mo'ne Davis. We all want to see her succeed. It's so much fun to watch. A little bit of sad news after discussing this. We've been talking a lot about weird assault cases against women in the athletic world, and now a freshman running back at OU got in trouble for punching a woman in the face and breaking a bone in her face. So once again, we have this same issue going around. It's not good. There needs to be a better implementation of this. I remember the NFL is just now discussing a more serious penalty for assault cases against women for domestic abuse after the Ray Rice thing. Because Ray Rice is suspended 2 games or something like that. It's a pathetic little sentence. And now they want to change it to 4 to 6 games on first offense. Second offense, you miss the whole season, which is better. I still would like something a little heavier, but I understand the NFL is not going to do what I want to do. So we like to see that. Hopefully the NCAA will do something similar or maybe even more drastic. I'd be in support of either. Moving on, Notre Dame suspended 4 of their football players for academic dishonesty, and because they found out that they were submitting papers that they had not written, aka what a lot of people do these days. So the way I'm looking at it is, if they're going to get suspended for this, there's going to be a lot of people suspended around the country. You can almost bet there's people on every single football team doing this exact same thing. It happens. They'll pay people to write their papers, whatever. So I understand academic dishonesty is not good and everything, but can you really be that surprised about this? Is it really that shocking that these guys are taking the easy way out in their classes for summer? No. So I'm I understand why they need to suspend them, but this doesn't need an investigation. Definitely doesn't need an investigation. You don't need to involve non-athletes. You don't need to do all of this. Like, it happens. People are going to do it. People are going to cheat no matter what you want to do. So I would kind of leave it, but I understand NCAA violation. They have to investigate it.
I mean, with you talking about these assault cases with these athletes, and now the academic dishonesty, I just feel like these athletes really need to get it together. Like, there's no reason to be a college football player committing crimes, assaulting women especially, because that's a major issue in this country. And then athletes not taking their academics seriously. I've said this before on Second Take. There are so many college athletes who will not play professionally. So what are you going to do when you don't get drafted into the NFL? And you don't take your academics seriously. Like, are you going to get a job? Are you going to be equipped enough to work somewhere? No, you're going to end up working some low budget job when you have so much potential. You're at a great institution that you play a sport for, and they have so many great academic opportunities to offer to you, but you don't take them seriously. It's a major issue. I wish athletes could hear me when I say this. I wish they listen to me, but I feel like professionals and college football players, they just get really, really comfortable knowing that they're good at their sport, and they think that's going to carry them far. And it doesn't always work that way. There are so few people who make it to the pro leagues. So athletes all around the country, get it together, honestly.
I completely agree. And what you're kind of talking about is what Charlie Strong has talked about at Texas. Like, sick of everybody being entitled, feeling like things are just going to come to them, and he's trying to change that culture. Especially at these big schools like Notre Dame, UT, schools like this, these guys are treated like gods, because they're the football players, they're the athletes, they carry this school, this fan community. So they get very entitled, they get very comfortable, they think they're immune to everything, they think they can do whatever the hell they want, and they can't. And that is what we're talking about. They're really just crossing lines constantly, just doing things they shouldn't be doing. Even I think they even know better than to abuse a woman, but they still do it. So you have to wonder what's going on, what we can change to make these guys realize, no, you're not special because you made it to college. Good job, but you're not special. If you want to make it to the NFL, you're going to have to be something better than this, because nobody wants the problem that you're going to bring. Nobody wants a guy who had a problem with abusing someone in college. They don't want that. They don't want that mess. All these NFL teams are dealing with people like that right now. You think anybody wants Ray Rice on their team? I promise you they don't. Why do you think Chad Ochocinco isn't in the league anymore? No one wants his problems. So the way you have to look at it is, if you want a future in football, you better be on your best behavior in college. You should be taking everything seriously. You shouldn't be acting like, oh, I'm better than everyone else. I can cheat on this test. I can cheat on this paper, and I'm good. I got tutors. I got everything. Because what happens if you don't? What happens if you make it to the NFL, but then you have a career-ending injury? Or what happens if you do make it to the NFL, have a great career, but what are you going to do the rest of the 40 extra years of your life? How are you going to make money then? You think that NFL money is going to last 40 years? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Especially with the way these athletes are spending it, absolutely not.
Yeah.
So it's a shame. It's a shame that people can't see it like this until they actually get smacked in the face with reality. By then it's too late. You want to notice this when you graduate college? You will not be a happy camper. When you realize, oh, I'm not going to the NFL. Oh, I have no skills. Oh, how am I going to live the rest of my life right now?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's some second take wisdom for all of you. We want to move on for a little bit to Shawn Marion was actually picked up by the Cavs. I know Armand has some more thoughts on that. So now the Cavs are even more stacked. Again, we are assuming the Kevin Love trade is going to go through. Kind of confused what's going on with that, because everyone knows it's happening, but it's not officially happened yet. Kind of confused. I guess we're waiting on something. Whatever it is, that's probably going to happen. And now they picked up Shawn Marion. Still stacked. I'm still saying they're not going to the finals.
Yeah, the Shawn Marion pickup was actually absolutely a great pickup. Shawn Marion has a lot of experience in the NBA. He's a champion. He won a ring with the Mavericks. Great defender. He can score the ball. He's a great locker room presence. The Cavaliers, they're looking good. In terms of the Andrew Wiggins, Kevin Love trade, you have to wait 30 days after the rookie is signed before you can trade him. So that's what's taking so long with the trade. It's going to happen. They just need to wait until Andrew Wiggins is eligible to be traded. once that goes through, I mean, the Cavs are looking like a powerhouse. Obviously, I mean, I've said it before. I believe they're going to win 60-plus games. They're not going to win the championship this year, but they're going to make a very, very strong push towards winning. So they'll be a great team to watch. Definitely very exciting.
You know, I don't buy it. Just because there's a bunch of great players just doesn't mean it's going to win. I mean, if you look at it, if we had the All-Star teams on All-Star Weekend, if those were real teams, there's too much ego on those teams for them to actually succeed in the regular season. You know, okay, we do well at the Olympics because everyone else sucks at basketball compared to us, and that's our version of the All-Star team. But I think if it was differently set up, I mean, us Laker fans, we thought that was going to be great having Steve Nash, Dwight Howard, and Kobe Bryant on the same team. That sounds awesome. They're all All-Stars. They're all great players. Guess what? It sucked. So just because you put these big players together doesn't mean it's necessarily going to work. And we've seen that clearly. And sometimes it does work, but sometimes it doesn't. So I wouldn't be quick to say it will. They still need time to adjust to each other. You know, Lil Wayne was on ESPN all day the other day, and he even agreed with me. He's not buying into it with the Cavs, but we are buying into the Lakers. Lakers going all the way. I'm telling you right now, Kobe's coming back. He's angry. He's ready to win, and we got it. Laker Nation, baby.
I think that the Cavs and the Lakers are two different situations. I think with Kobe and Dwight, they were both used to being the number one guys in their respective teams. Dwight came to the Lakers and wasn't really happy. What?
Wasn't Kevin Love used to being the number one guy?
Yes, but I think Kevin Love is willing to step back because he has LeBron James on his team. I think anyone who went to a team with LeBron James would be willing to step back. Kyrie Irving's absolutely going to step back and let LeBron James take over that team. I don't think Kyrie and Kevin Love have huge egos like that. Kevin Love said he was intrigued by the Cavaliers trade. I think the fact that he was willing to go to a team where they already have a franchise guy, the best player in the NBA, I think that he knows that he's not going to be the number one guy there. He's going to be very important and contribute a lot, but I think he knows that's LeBron James' team already. Dwight Howard, I don't think he was willing to buy into the fact that that's Kobe's team and you live under Kobe's rules. So that's why there were issues. Also, there were a lot of injuries. Steve Nash didn't play all that many games that season. Dwight Howard was out for some time that season, I believe. Kobe eventually got injured. So they all didn't really get to play that many games together and develop their chemistry. I think the Cavs are going to – it's going to take them a while to really learn each other's tendencies and play well together, but to have dynamic players like Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love, and LeBron James playing together, regardless of the fact they have no chemistry, they're going to play very well because they all can score the ball and they can do it. So
I don't know. I mean, when you're looking at the Eastern Conference right now, you still got the Heat. Heat are still going to be good. I don't doubt that at all. Just because they don't have LeBron, I still think they're going to do very well. And then you have the Bulls. The Bulls are about to be serious. Derrick Rose is going to be healthy, we assume. And when he's healthy, he's Derrick Rose. He's the guy we know. He's the guy we fear. Right now, the Bulls are the ones who are probably going to dominate the East. And I'm going to say that right now. And then they picked up Pau Gasol. As a Laker fan, I know how good Pau Gasol is. Very bitter he decided to not come back to us. But he's a great player, and I can't even lie about that. So him on the Bulls, that's something serious. And if anyone is going to give LeBron a run for its money, it's going to be the Bulls. Derrick Rose knows how to score. Point blank. Speaking of basketball, oh, sorry, did you want to comment?
Go ahead. Finish your statement.
Speaking of more basketball, there was a little conversation Steph Curry had where he was asked if he's a better scorer than LeBron, and he said yes. And a lot of people are upset about that, but at the same time, if you're an NBA player with the ego you have and you have to be confident in yourself, are you going to answer that question no? Probably not, because then people are going to be like, oh my god, he thinks he sucks, so he must suck. There must be something we don't know that he's this bad. So I understand why Steph Curry said that. Is Steph Curry very good offensively? Absolutely. Is he, but to LeBron's level, I'm not sure. And especially not all-around player. Steph Curry can't play defense and everything like LeBron can. It's called the post. He can't do it like LeBron can. So, I mean, interesting comment. A lot of people are getting on him about that, but I get it. You're not going to say, yeah, LeBron's a better offensive player than me, because you don't want to do that. You want to say, he's a good player, but I'm just as good, or I'm better, whatever it is. Get yourself confident. Get something going. Maybe when the Cavs play the Warriors, there's going to be a little bit of beef, something to get that game going. Could have been for the best. We don't even know about it.
Yeah, I can absolutely respect that statement by Steph Curry. If I was in his position, I would say it too. I mean, Steph Curry is an amazing shooter, and he can shoot the ball anywhere. He can shoot the three. He can shoot mid range. He can finish at the basket. LeBron has been developing his 3-point shot. He's a solid mid range shooter. He's a great finisher at the basket. I think they both have their strengths. Overall player, LeBron's definitely better. Scorer, you could argue Steph Curry is a better scorer, but when LeBron drops to the basket, I mean, there's really no one stopping him. Steph Curry's a bit more finesse. He'll throw up floaters. LeBron will dunk on you. So it's a toss-up, but I mean, I think at the end of the day, if you had to pick between LeBron James and Steph Curry on your team, you're definitely going to pick LeBron. But Steph Curry has to stand up for himself, be confident as an NBA player. So definitely respect that statement.
And, Steph Curry's the future of basketball. He's still young, younger than LeBron. So there's going to be a point where there's no LeBron and there is a Steph Curry. Could he be the best offensive player in the league at that time? Could be. Yeah. We don't know. We don't know what's going to come. Moving on to some NASCAR. I know we hate talking about this Tony Stewart thing, but the NASCAR actually ruled saying that there's a new rule where you can't get out of your car. So, we would think this would have already existed, but now it does exist, which is great. Tony Stewart is having a very difficult time coping with all of this. Pretty sure he hasn't raced since, and I can't imagine what he's going through, and it's going to be very hard for him to get back to the track. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people who are against him going back, and there's rumors that he sped up, whatever. But everyone who was there said no, he tried to stop the best he could, but he was going pretty fast, and it's a little hard to stop. So again, terrible situation. Glad NASCAR has ruled on it, and hopefully we never see anything like this again. Anything else you need to add for this week?
Oh, yeah, no, I just want to talk about the NASCAR ruling real quick. I mean, I definitely appreciate the fact that they made a ruling. I think that it should go without saying that you shouldn't get out of your car when you're on a racetrack with cars going that fast, but I mean, to make an official rule, that's definitely smart. I can totally understand why Tony Stewart feels the way he feels. I mean, I've never killed someone, unfortunately, and I would never want to. I'm sure that's a huge burden to have. Hopefully, Ward's family is coping with it well, but definitely appreciate that NASCAR is taking a stand. Just some quick roundup from the week. Usain Bolt won his first 100-meter race. Sammy Watkins bruised his ribs. It's definitely a rough thing for him in his first season with the Bills. Bruised ribs isn't that serious of an injury, so he should be back pretty soon. And then Josh Hamilton, the slugger for the Angels, came out and said he's not the same player he was on the Rangers. I can definitely see that. The Rangers were very successful when Josh Hamilton was there. I believe they had 2 straight trips to the World Series, and then he went to the Angels with Albert Pujols and Mike Trout, and that team was supposed to be phenomenal, and they haven't been very good the past couple seasons, so I can definitely...
Hey, isn't that kind of what I just talked about with the NBA? You put all these big names together, and guess what? Doesn't do it.
It's a very good point, Jillian.
Yeah, I love when I catch you like this.
always on point. So, yeah, Joe just had to get me for today, so I'll let you close the show because...
Terrible for the Sammy Watkins injury. We've seen a lot of weird injuries in these preseason camps. All stuff that we assume is going to heal up, hopefully. Also, speaking of injuries, Paul George came out since the injury saying sometimes freak accidents just happen. And truth to that, I think DeMarcus Cousins actually got hurt too in the USA basketball practice. He's okay, though. I think it was a bruised right knee or something like that. Either way, we've seen a lot of injuries. Last year seemed to be the year of the injuries, so hopefully this isn't year of the injuries part 2. Again, you know who we are. We will be back next week. Again, episode 30 is coming up. We would love to hear if you guys have any suggestions of what you want us to do, because we want it to be great because it's 30 episodes, and that's awesome. So let us know, and have a great week.